Okay, well, it's still kind of damp. Excuse the noise in the background. It's the vacuum is running. But it's now starting to look like a little book, and I've kind of decided how I want to do this. As far as this craft paper goes, I'm not sure I'm going to line it all the way around. So I picked out some, let me put the top back on it, some Hero Arts shadow ink in a soft purple. And I'm just going to take the pad and go directly to this and just kind of go along the edge and put some color on it. I want to go into it a little bit. Of course, on the brown, it just looks brown. I don't know that it'll look any different later, but we'll see. Kind of distresses it. I like that. And this leaves my options open. I may not even have to cover it with anything else. I could just go along and distress it on the top edges like this and have kind of a nicely distressed little book cover that I can then just decorate. And I can do the same thing inside. Put some color in here. Let's see. Of course, I am probably going to cover this inside, but it's an option. And I still have to cut the tab out because I do still want the tab. There. Not too bad, not too messy. Okay, I'm going to use my dryer and dry this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's what it looks like right now. And this is the tab area, and I've got my little punch. This is a Recollections punch. And I'm not even sure what size. Oh, it's a 5/8 inch. And I use these upside down. Let me get the little guard out of the way. Let me see if I can see. Yeah, it's right about there. So I'm just going to punch that out. So now I have my little divot. And I might take some of the ink. I'm probably going to have to take, well, maybe not, because I did glue it all pretty well. You do want to kind of put a little of this down in there, just to make it kind of blend in. There we go. So then, of course, I just have to make some decisions what I would like to put on here, if I want to wrap it in paper, what kind of what I would like inside, what kind of a system I'm going to use for the signatures. And right now I'm thinking I might use an elastic binding and make it so the signatures are removable. I have my, let's see if I can pick this, I got it wedged in here, my crocodile. It's a crocodile too. Let's see. I think I want the big holes. And that's, yeah, well, the smaller holes, maybe that's a better idea. Because the big holes, this is kind of a little book. So let's see. Find a pen. I don't know if you'll be able to see. with this ruler or not. Let's see, so it's about a 1 inch spine. And I'd like to do 2 signatures. So this is like the middle point right here. So here's a 1/4 inch, and there's a 1/4 inch. I think that's where I would want them. I want this down just a little bit. So 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch. And let's see, it's about a 1/2 inch. So let's see. Be about there. So I'm going to put my ruler back on here. And then it would be right about here. And right about here. Let's see. So I draw a line here. Okay, so it doesn't look terribly straight, but you get, this is just to give an idea. So I would like to put, let's see. Right, that's the big holes. And these are the smaller holes. I think I'm going to go with the smaller holes. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I'm just trying to put my guide up there so it stays somewhat level. So there's one. See? Well, maybe not. There's a hole. Put it back against the guide. And there's a hole. So 2 signatures. And let's see. Right about there. Right about there. And I'm just going to turn it around. And right about there. And then right about right about there. So I have 6 holes. And I'm not sure how I want to do this. This may just be a pamphlet stitch that holds them in here rather than elastic bands. But I'm giving myself options. And of course I haven't put paper on this or anything yet, so I'm not sure what I want to do. This just gives me the skeleton, you know, something to work with. So I'll wait till I cover this, but I might even put rivets or eyelets into the holes, grommets, whatever you want to call them, just to make them a little firmer. Although, like I said, this is just a really small journal, and I haven't even decided what it might be for. Might just be, you know, a bullet journal like grocery list, or it could be an art journal for little quick sketches. Could be just about anything. So, let's see. Right now I'm just looking at paper, because I have this paper with purple, and it has a lot of dimension in it. And I have that. And then there's that, which is really pretty. And that. And this with the pansies on it, which is really pretty too. That is a distinct possibility. Let me see. That could be really pretty on the outside. Maybe I'll do that. And put this on the outside. Let's see, that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, it's about 2 3/4 inches by 7 3/4 inches. So let me turn this over. So I can use that. There's writing, and the barcode for this piece of paper is on this end, so I'm going to use that. So I'm just going to lay this on here. Try to get everything out of the way. Let's see, I better use a pencil. Let me get a pencil. Okay, so let me just do that. And that. So I trace the outline. Take my handy dandy scissors, although I could use my trimmer for this. I think I'm going to cut just outside the line. Give myself a little wiggle room. And I will cut here. Unfortunately, these scissors have these little tiny short handles, or blades. There's that. And I will just take my punch and line that back up. And punch that back out. There we go. So that's going to be the outside of my journal. So I may have to trim it off once I get it glued down a little bit. For this, I'm just going to use some Aleene's tacky glue. I should probably just use a wet glue, but let me just lay this, well, I'll glue it on first, and then I'll worry about the holes. All right, so this is the outside. Make sure I get the corners really well. out just a little. I always get in too close. I either get too close or not close away. Okay, I have to... My dog Rowdy has been having some kind of muscle spasm or seizures, and she has some kind of a growth in her throat. And it's kind of scary, and I have to go down and check on her. My granddaughter says she's having another seizure, so let me just get this on here while it's wet quickly. And then I will have to go and I will be back. There. Okay. I just wipe up my mess. And I'll just set something heavy on it, and I gotta go. Okay. I'll be back. Okay, and welcome back. This is all dried now, and all I did was take my crocodile and poke the holes through the paper that we just glued on the back side, or the front side. Sorry, outside. And now all I'm going to do is, I've decided to use this paper for the inside. As you can see, it's later, much later now. It's a little bit dark, it's rainy. It's about 6:30 or so in the evening. And Rowdy's doing okay. I wish I could say she's doing wonderful, but it's not a good prognosis, so. Anyway, I'm just going to trace around this and cut it out and glue it on the inside. Okay, so there it is. It's traced, and I'm just going to cut. I think this one I'm going to try to cut right on the line. And turn it this way. And cut it some more. And I might be cutting it too small. Not sure. May have to add some trims. Bulk it out a little. But that's okay. Handmade. Right? Okay. So there's the pansy, and that's going to be the inside. So all the stuff I did on here, oh well. And I'm just going to add some more Aleene's tacky glue. Sorry about that glare. My light is bright. Trying to make sure I have enough. See, heavy-handed with the glue. I have to say, I'm not afraid of the glue. Okay. And that's where the little tab piece is, so I'm going to just turn it over and put it on here like this. Now I'm going to lift it up a little so I can see my edges because they're open. Not sure what I'm going to do with those yet, but we'll see. In my paper towel. Just kind of squishing all the glue around. Wiping it off my mat. Yeah, might have to trim it up just a little. Okay, well, let's do that. Just a little extra hair. So we'll just do that. Of course, now that you start, that's what I don't like about scissors. You can trim and trim and trim. Okay. I gotta trim this little bit back a little. Okay. And then I will take my hole punch again. And line that up and just cut that little piece out again. And there's a little bit there I'm gonna need to trim. Okay, and I am going to let this dry before I come back and put the holes all the way through it. While I was looking for stuff, I did find another Jello box, and this one, as you can see, I did take and fold the edge back, and it looks white because I've got bookbinding tape on this one, reinforcing the entire structure. And this one, I didn't cut out the notch, and as you can see, this one, the notch goes to the side, and this one, the box goes the opposite way. So there's all kinds of ways to do these little journals up. They're a lot of fun to make. Hey, you know what? My feelings, if I don't use them all, that's okay. They're fun to make. And I have the stuff. So, and I'm recycling. And it's fun. I enjoy it. So I'm going to let this dry and think about what I might want to trim the edges of my journal with to close up in between the layers. Could be washi tape, could be ribbon, could be just about anything. So we will see. I'll be back when this is dry. All I'm doing is putting some heavy things on top just to hold the paper together, and that's gonna sit and dry. Okay, well, this is all dry, and I poked the holes through, so now it goes through both sides. And I am going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch on 2 signatures in this little book. And what I've been experimenting with is, I don't have a paper distresser, but I've been just using my scissors and going along the edge and roughing up the edge where these pieces sandwich together, giving it just a distressed look. And get that corner a little bit. Okay, so I just have this one long edge left to do. So all I do is I take the blade of my scissors, and I have the sharper cutting edge pulling towards me, and I'm just going like this, and it just distresses that edge some. Makes it look a little worn and chewed up. Shabby chic? Anyone? I'm not really a fan of shabby chic. I don't do a lot of shabby chic. I'm afraid I grew up at a time when shabby chic was not popular. Alright, so I just roughed up all these edges, including the dip with that little tab pull thing. And note that I haven't put a ribbon or anything through this to use as a closure. I'm still debating my closure, but I didn't want to do anything like that. Let me just see if I can get some of this mess off my mat. Usually I have to take something wet and kind of wipe it. Okay, so then what I want to do is I want to take my little book, and I'm just going to take one of my alcohol markers. Let's see if I can get a hold of it. In this case, it's a Copic Chow, and it is V09. And I am going to use the medium broad tip. This is violet. This is right there. So gray line indicates that that's the brush tip. And the other end, no gray line, harder to open, at least for me. There it goes. And that is the broad chisel tip. What I do like about these is the opposite end cap does fit back on. So let's see what this color does. I just want to go back through all this rough edge. I can see I may have to put a little glue in certain places. And this is how I do it. It's just fun for me to work my way through, experiment with different things, see how it works. It doesn't work so much. I consider it a design opportunity. That's what I like about alcohol markers, is they bleed and they make interesting marks all on their own. And yeah. So we'll see how many design opportunities this provides. I'm doing both sides. And I'll do this edge here. And you see how the alcohol ink kind of brings all those layers together. I like that. And I didn't have to use any washi tape. Although I may still. You never know. Like I said, I kind of play this game as I go. One thing I like about alcohol ink is it dries fairly fast. So when I'm not careful, which is quite often, I don't make a mess of myself as much. Not that I mind making a mess of myself, also part of the fun. I hear Wally jingling. Yeah, he's here. Got a couple of cats in the room. It's raining outside. Oh, he's trying to jump up in the chair with me. So anyway, this is about it for right now. I'll be back. I am going to think about what else I might want to do, add, etc.